G'day there and welcome to Tim's Board Game Review, episode 13. In this review I'll be reviewing this game, which for the purposes of this review I'll be pronouncing Yus. Yus is a 2 to 4 player game and can be expandable up to 5, and a game will typically go for a bit over 1 hour. In a game of Yus, you're in control of a series of brokers that you are using to try and accumulate lots of valuable gems. So each turn you can use the brokers to try and negotiate and obtain gems. You can use them to try and influence the price of gems on the markets, or you can use them to try and gain the assistance of powerful characters within the city walls. So let's see what you get inside the box. A colour rules booklet. The playing board, which has a scoring track around the outside and represents the city of Yus and the markets. Broker cylinders in each playing colour, which are placed onto the board and are essentially used for area control. 145 gems of 6 different colours. 4 player screens used to hide your brokers. 24 character cards, which can be used to obtain special powers during play. Order cards for depicting turn order, some scoring aids for each player, 24 ship cards which have gems on them, scoring markers for each colour and a turn marker. This is what a game set up for 4 players would look like. A game of Yus is divided into 4 turns, with each turn divided into 4 separate phases. I'll briefly describe now each phase. The first phase is the setup phase, where new character cards are placed onto the board, new ship cards full of gems pull into the ports, and more gems appear in the markets. The second brief phase involves determining the turn order, which is determined by each player secretly placing 2 of their brokers in front of their screens. From highest to lowest, people are then able to choose their turn order. If you've won, you don't necessarily want to be the first player, as it's often good to go last so that you can place brokers onto the board after you've seen where the other people have placed theirs, which can be important in terms of area control. The third phase is the guts of the game, where people take turns in placing 2 brokers onto the board. One of the brokers should be placed face up, while the other is kept hidden by placing it upside down. This continues until all players have placed 4 lots of 2 brokers onto the board. This leaves each player with 1 broker left, which is then added to the 2 other brokers in front of their screen. The total of these 3 brokers is used for deciding ties during the 4th phase of the game, which is the counting phase. In this phase, the brokers within each region are counted up, with various benefits given to each person who wins each region. In the first part of the counting phase, the brokers in the first quarter of the city are all revealed. The person who has the highest total of brokers in the quarter as a whole gets to take 2 gems of their choice from the ship card. The second player gets to choose a gem, the third place gets the last remaining gem, while the 4th player receives no gems. Then each of the 3 individual regions within the quarter are decided. The winner of the port region or outer area receives a valuable black gem, which are worth points at the end of the game. The winner of the middle or commercial area earns 3 golden coins, which are victory points. The winner of the inner or palace area gets to take the power card, which gives the owner various benefits. The second, third and 4th quarters are scored in a similar manner before scoring the market region. In a 4-player game, 3 lines and 4 columns are available for the placement of each broker within the market area. The person who wins the horizontal line gets to take the gem at the edge of that row. The vertical columns are then added. The column with the highest total makes the value of that gem go up in value by 2 places in the market. Second place allows that value of that gem to go up 1. Third place, the value of the gem goes down 1. And last place, that value of that gem drops by 2. This way you can attempt to try and make the value of gems that you own a lot of go up in price in the market. Finally, the person who has the most amount of influence in the market is able to change the price of any gem by a single increment. The above process repeats itself over 4 rounds and then points a total to see who has won. Black gems are worth approximately 3 points each based on a sliding scale. Then all of the coloured gems are counted. The person who has the most amount of the highest value gem in the market receives a big 24-point bonus, while second place gets 18, third place gets 12, fourth place gets 6. However, this compares to only 12 points for being in first place for the gem worth the least in the markets. Therefore, there is generally going to be more competition for the higher valued gems, making it harder to come in first place, so it's quite a clever mechanism. The amount of gems each person has is public knowledge, therefore it's quite easy to work out what type of gems you should be focusing on to try and maximise the amount of points that you have at the end of the game. The person with the highest overall total wins the game. The gameplay is modified slightly for 2 and 3 player games, and the rule booklet also includes 2 variants. One which reduces the length of the game, and the other one adds a bit of depth to the game by adding an extra 5th phase to each round, which is called the King's Favour. And now onto my ratings for this game. Give the components a 7 out of 10 for this version. I'd probably have to bump that up to 8 out of 10 for the currently available version that has better quality gems and broker cylinders. The luck factor would be low to medium. I suppose the main element of luck is that you don't know all of the available information due to the hidden brokers, so you can sometimes be unlucky based on what other people have done. Fun rating would be medium. There's obviously some bluffing that can go on when placing your hidden brokers, and the anticipation as you wait to see if you've won control of an area when the hidden brokers are revealed is always interesting. Complexity would be medium. There's a bit to get your head around before playing, and there's a fair bit going on during play, but ultimately each turn boils down to deciding which 2 brokers to place and where to place them. Depth would be medium. There are a number of strategies that can be played out, and the King's Favour variant adds more depth to the game. The replayability would be medium to high. The different power cards and ship cards, which are randomly drawn each turn, will always make every game unique. Overall, give this game 8 out of 10. A really well designed game that plays fairly quickly and requires you to make a lot of difficult decisions. So I hope you enjoyed this review of this fun and enjoyable game, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.